Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when you've got to draw a line in the sand and say, no more excuses, no more waiting, no more hoping. It's time to make it happen. Life isn't going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. If you want something bad enough, really want it, you've got to go out there and take it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. And it does. And it does. See, too many of us are waiting for the right time, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to give us permission. But let me tell you something. The right time is now, not tomorrow, not next week, right here, right now. I know what it's like to feel like you're stuck, to feel like you're invisible. I know what it feels like to look in the mirror and ask, is this all there is for me? But let me tell you something powerful. Just because you're down doesn't mean you're done. You still have breath in your lungs, purpose in your soul, and power in your hands. You were not born to be average. You were born to be phenomenal. But the difference between those who succeed and those who settle is the courage to make it happen. I want you to think of your dream right now. Close your eyes and picture it. Maybe it's building your business. Maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's writing that book, traveling the world, or being the parent your kids deserve. Whatever that dream is, hold it in your mind. Feel it in your heart. Now open your eyes and listen to me closely. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to save your dream. That's your job. That's your responsibility. That's your gift and your challenge. You might not have the money right now. You might not have the support. You might be working 2 jobs just to survive. But I want you to know something. Your current situation is not your final destination. It's just the training ground. It's preparing you for your breakthrough. There's greatness in you. I'm not talking about the surface stuff. I'm talking about that fire down in your belly, that whisper that says, I was made for more. That part of you that won't let you sleep because you know you haven't tapped into your full potential yet. But dreams don't work unless you do. So yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will fail. Yes, people will doubt you, laugh at you, tell you to give up. But if you've got the guts to keep showing up, even when you're scared, even when you're tired, even when the odds are stacked against you, you will win. Let me ask you, how bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you'll stop waiting for motivation and start acting on discipline. If you want it bad enough, you'll stop blaming your past and start building your future. If you want it bad enough, you'll silence the noise of the world and start listening to that small voice inside that says, go for it. You see, the people who make it happen aren't the smartest, the richest, or the luckiest. They're the ones who refuse to quit. They're the ones who got knocked down 6 times and got up 7. They're the ones who were underestimated, overlooked, counted out, but kept going anyway. You've got to get to a place where giving up is not an option, where you're willing to look foolish, willing to be misunderstood, willing to be uncomfortable. Because the truth is, comfort is the enemy of growth. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's hard, when it hurts, when you push through anyway. So if you're struggling right now, good. That means you're still in the game. If you're doubting yourself, good. That means you still care. If you're scared, good. That means you're getting closer to something that matters. Fear is a liar. Doubt is a thief. But faith is your weapon, and action is your proof. You've got to stop telling yourself you can't and start proving to yourself that you can. You've got to stop shrinking to fit in and start rising to stand out. Listen to me. You are powerful. You are capable. You are worthy. You have what it takes, even if you don't see it yet, but you will never know how strong you really are until you decide to show up and fight for your life like you've already won. So take the shot, write the plan, make the call, hit the gym, launch the idea, apply for the job, say the prayer, take the risk. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. And when the world says you can't, you look it right in the eye and say, watch me. When your past tries to tell you who you are, you tell it, that's not who I am anymore. I'm becoming who I was born to be. Because this is your moment. This is your time. And no matter where you've been, no matter what you've been through, no matter who doubted you, stand tall, speak life, hold your head high, and declare with everything in you, I will rise, I will grind, I will believe, I will fight, and most of all, I will make it happen. Let that sink in for a moment. Because too often we allow where we are right now to define who we are, and even worse, to dictate what's possible for us in the future. But where you are today does not have to be where you end up. It's a snapshot, not the whole story. It's a chapter, not the entire book. You might be struggling financially. You might be working a job that drains the life out of you. You might be dealing with heartbreak, rejection, disappointment, or failure. But that's not the end. That's the middle. That's the part where it hurts. That's the part that tests you. That's the part that tries to convince you to give up, to stop trying, to accept that this is all life has for you. But it's not. That voice is lying. You are not stuck. You are learning. You are not finished. You are forming. See, life doesn't move in straight lines. It zigs and zags. It throws detours, delays, and dead ends. And sometimes it feels like you're going in circles. But every struggle, every setback, every lonely night, it's part of the journey to something greater. Just because the path isn't easy doesn't mean the destination isn't real. Just because it's taken longer than you thought doesn't mean it won't happen. The truth is, we grow the most in the dirt, in the dark places, in the uncomfortable seasons. You don't get strong in the sunlight. You get strong in the storm. The struggle is shaping you, not stopping you. It's refining your mindset, not reducing your potential. You are being prepared, stretched, and sharpened. And one day, you will look back at this very moment and say, I needed that. But you've got to stop defining your future by your current location. Stop saying, I'll never get out of this neighborhood. Stop saying, I'm too old to start over. Stop saying, no one in my family ever made it, so why would I? Those are not truths. They're limitations disguised as facts. And the moment you accept them, you give them power. The moment you believe them, you give up your authority to change. Your background does not determine your breakthrough. Your history does not control your destiny. Where you started doesn't decide where you finish, but your mindset does. Your hunger does. Your belief does. You have to see beyond what's in front of you. You've got to live with vision, not just sight. Because if all you ever focus on is your current condition, there are people right now living the life they once only dreamed about. Not because everything was handed to them, but because they made a decision to stop letting their circumstances define them and start letting their purpose drive them. They were broke, they were broken, they were told no 1,000 times, but they refused to stay where they were. They refused to be buried by the now. They chose to rise, and now they chose to rise bigger and look cool and be more proud and not be filthy. And they found their way. And so can you. You might be tired. You might feel behind. You might not know what to do next. That's okay. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. You're not supposed to feel ready. Growth doesn't feel good at first. Change doesn't come wrapped in comfort. But that discomfort you feel, that frustration, that deep down ache for something more, that's not weakness. That's your soul waking up. That's your future calling you forward. You're in transition, not in defeat. You're in process, not in prison. And every day you wake up and choose to keep going, even when it doesn't look like anything is changing, that's progress. That's power. That's the sign that you haven't quit on yourself. You are allowed to outgrow where you are. You are allowed to evolve beyond your surroundings. You are allowed to dream bigger than your situation. Do not shrink to fit your setting. Expand to fit your potential. Just because no one around you has done it doesn't mean you can't. Just because it hasn't been done by you doesn't mean it can't be done through you. But you have to make a choice to stop settling, to stop waiting, to stop giving your present the authority to cancel your future. There is more for you. There is better for you. But you've got to claim it. You've got to act like it's already yours. You've got to move in the direction of who you want to become, even if you're the only one who sees it right now. Where you are right now might not feel good. It might not be what you imagined. But don't confuse your location with your identity. Don't confuse your delay with denial. Don't confuse your current season with your life sentence. That's the truth that separates wishful thinkings from those who turn their visions into victories. Because dreaming is easy. Everybody dreams. Everyone imagines a better life, a brighter future, a higher place. But not everyone is willing to get up early, stay up late, sacrifice comfort, and push through resistance to bring that dream to life. A dream without action is just a fantasy. A dream without work is just a nice idea. The difference between the dreamers and the doers is the willingness to grind when it's not glamorous. You can talk about your dream all day long. You can post about it, journal it, vision board it, even pray over it. But until you put in the work, it stays on the shelf of potential. It doesn't move. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't evolve. It stays locked in the maybe one day category. While life keeps moving around you, you've got to put motion behind the emotion. You've got to match your excitement with execution. The reason some people never see their dream materialize isn't because they didn't want it bad enough. It's because they didn't work for it hard enough. Wanting something isn't enough. Hoping isn't enough. Even believing isn't enough on its own. You've got to do. You've got to put in the hours, the effort, the energy. You've got to get your hands dirty. You've got to face rejection, push through fatigue, and keep showing up when no one is watching and nothing seems to be happening. Working on your dream means staying disciplined when distractions call your name. It means choosing growth over ease, progress over pride, and results over excuses. It means showing up on the days you don't feel like it. It means being honest with yourself about where you're falling short and being brave enough to do something about it. It's not just about setting goals. It's about honoring the commitments behind those goals every single day. There are going to be days when your dream feels out of reach, days when you're tired, when it seems like nobody sees your effort, when you wonder if any of this is even worth it. And those are the days that separate you. Because if you can push through that, if you can keep going in spite of the silence, in spite of the setbacks, you're building something that's real. You're not just building a result, you're building a person. You. Working on your dream means giving up comfort now for freedom later. It means investing in yourself before the world believes in you. It means being willing to fail forward, fall down, and stand back up again with more fight than you had before. It means knowing that every small step, every early morning, every late night is shaping your future, piece You don't need a perfect plan. You need persistent action. You don't need to have all the answers. You need to have the courage to keep asking the questions and the discipline to seek them out. So many people wait until they feel ready, but the truth is, readiness comes from movement. The more you do, the more capable you become. The more you try, the more clarity you gain. Action births momentum. Momentum builds belief, and belief fuels action in return. When you work your dream starts working back. Doors open that weren't visible before. People appear who want to help. Opportunities show up because you're showing up. But it doesn't happen in reverse. You can't wait for everything to fall into place before you begin. You've got to build while you move. You've got to trust that the pieces will connect as long as you keep laying the foundation. Working on your dream also means protecting it. Not everyone will understand what you're building. Not everyone will cheer for you. Some will laugh. Some will doubt. Some will try to talk you out of it. That's okay. Your dream was given to you, not them. It's your job to nurture it, to believe in it when no one else does, to carry it through the fire until it's strong enough to stand on its own. That takes work. Not once, not twice, but every day. Even when it feels slow. Even when the results aren't immediate. Even when you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's still progress. That's still the process. There's no shortcut, no cheat code, no fast pass, just consistent, intentional effort, day after day, choice after choice. And here's the thing, the work itself changes you. You become stronger, you become wiser, you become more focused, more capable, more resilient. You start to realize that the goal was never just a dream. It was who you had to become in the pursuit of it. The work molds you. It teaches you. It strips away the parts of you that were holding you back and reveals the version of you that's ready to rise. You're not doing this for applause. You're doing this because the dream matters. You're doing this because settling is no longer acceptable. You're doing this because something inside you knows you were made for more. And that voice won't quiet down until you prove it right through your effort, through your grit, through your relentless work. That truth can feel heavy, but it's also liberating, because once you realize that no one is obligated to make your dream happen for you, you take back your power. You stop waiting. You stop expecting. You start moving. You start owning. The moment you accept that it's all on you is the moment everything begins to shift. Too many people spend their lives hoping someone will discover them, invest in them, rescue them from obscurity or hardship. They wait for the perfect mentor, the perfect opportunity, the perfect time. They wait for family to support them, for friends to believe in them, for the world to applaud them. And in all that waiting, the dream gets dusty. The fire grows dim. The momentum fades away. Because the longer you wait for someone else to give you permission, the more distant your dream becomes. You were not born to be rescued. You were born to rise, to build, to fight for what matters to you. No one can see what you see. No one can feel what you feel. No one can carry what you carry. That vision in your heart, that fire in your soul, it's yours for a reason. It's not a coincidence. It's a calling. And your calling requires your commitment. Responsibility means doing what needs to be done, whether or not anyone is clapping for you, whether or not anyone is watching, whether or not anyone understands. It means getting up when you fall, learning from your mistakes, pushing through resistance, and showing up with excellence, because your dream deserves nothing less. Responsibility means you stop blaming the world for what you haven't built. You stop pointing fingers at circumstances, and you start using whatever you have in your hands to make progress. No one owes you support. No one owes you a second chance. No one owes you belief, investment, or understanding. It would be nice if those things came freely, but don't build your future around a maybe. Build it on what you can control: your effort, your discipline, your focus, your resilience. You can't control who shows up for you. You can only control how you show up for yourself. If someone helps you along the way, be grateful, but never become dependent. If you get a break, use it, but never assume it will happen again. If someone believes in you, appreciate it, but never expect anyone to believe in your dream more than you do. You've got to become your own motivation, your own advocate, your own driving force, because there will be seasons when you're walking alone. There will be days when you question everything. There will be moments when it feels like no one gets it. And in those moments, it's your responsibility to keep going anyway. Your dream is not going to chase you. You have to chase it. You have to run toward it when it's foggy, when it's hard, when it's uncertain. You have to hold it close when life tries to shake it from your grip. You have to protect it from negativity, from distraction, from doubt, because there are people who won't understand what you're trying to do. There are people who will criticize your progress or your pace, but it's not their dream, it's yours. And only you can protect it, nurture it, and make it real. When you take responsibility, you stop giving excuses power. You stop saying, I can't because of them, and start saying, I will in spite of it. You stop waiting for the ideal conditions and start creating them. You stop waiting for someone to choose you and start choosing yourself. That mindset shift from waiting to owning is everything. That's where transformation begins. You weren't meant to sit on the sidelines of your own life. You weren't meant to play it safe, to play it small, to play the victim. You were meant to take the lead, to pick up the pen and write your story, to make bold decisions, to bet on yourself. Not because you're guaranteed success, but because your dream is worth the risk. Your growth is worth the pressure. Your potential is worth the stretch. It's easy to talk about dreams. It's easy to get inspired. What's hard is showing up every day when the excitement wears off. What's hard is being consistent when you're tired, when you're unsure, when you're facing setbacks. But that's where the work is. That's where the character is forged. That's where the real builders separate themselves from the talkers. No one is going to care about your vision more than you. No one is going to wake up at 5 a.m. for your goals. No one is going to sacrifice for your freedom. You have to do that. You have to want it enough to take full ownership, to stop waiting for a sign and start being the sign, to stop hoping for direction and start creating your own map, to stop relying on others to push you and start pulling yourself into the life you know you're meant to live. Every excuse you've ever used, lack of time, lack of resources, lack of support, has already been overcome by someone who had less. And they didn't wait for a savior. They saved themselves. They decided that enough was enough. They drew the line. They took the reins, and they refused to hand their power over to anyone else. That same choice is available to you right now. It lures you in with ease, with routine, with the promise that nothing has to change. It tells you to stay where it's familiar, where it's safe, where you know what to expect. But nothing remarkable ever happens in the comfort zone. Nothing extraordinary is built in the space where nothing challenges you. Growth requires discomfort. It demands that you step into the unknown, that you face resistance, that you stretch beyond what feels easy, natural, or normal. We all crave comfort on some level. We want things to feel manageable, predictable, secure. But the danger is that comfort creates stagnation. It convinces you that where you are is good enough, even when deep down you know you were made for more. It whispers lies that say you've gone far enough. You don't need to push anymore. Or trying again isn't worth the risk. And if you listen to that voice long enough, you start shrinking your goals to match your current circumstances instead of expanding your courage to match your true potential. Real growth is uncomfortable. It's the sore muscles after a tough workout. It's the awkward silence in a difficult conversation. It's the fear before you speak your truth or take a leap. Growth is waking up earlier than you want, practicing longer than you like, and enduring failure more often than feels fair. It's making mistakes, feeling vulnerable, being misunderstood. It's outgrowing relationships, changing environments, and standing alone sometimes with nothing but your vision to hold on to. But every inch of that pain has a purpose. Every stretch, every scar, every sacrifice is shaping a stronger, wiser, more capable version of you. Comfort wants you to play small. It wants you to lower your expectations, to settle for just okay, to avoid risk at all costs. It wants you to repeat what's familiar, even if what's familiar is unfulfilling. But growth asks for something more. It asks you to do the uncomfortable thing, the thing that scares you, challenges you, and demands effort you've never given before. It asks you to trade short-term ease for long-term strength. If you want to grow, you have to be willing to feel awkward, to look foolish, to fail publicly. You have to walk into rooms where you're not the smartest one, put yourself in situations where you're the beginner again, and let go of the need to be perfect. Comfort says, stay where it's safe. Growth says, go where it's real. And the moment you choose growth over comfort is the moment your life starts to expand. Some people spend their whole lives avoiding discomfort, not realizing they're also avoiding transformation. They never take the chance, never raise their voice, never ask for more, never push the limit. They live in the same routine, the same environment, the same habits, year after year, while calling it stability. But inside, they feel the ache, the quiet question. Is this all there is? And it's not. But growth will cost you something. It will cost you comfort. There's no breakthrough without pressure, no transformation without tension, no success without sacrifice. You have to be willing to be stretched, to be tested, to be challenged. Because growth is not a straight line. It's a series of breakdowns, rebuilds, and breakthroughs. It's not clean. It's not neat. It's messy, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable. But that's what makes it powerful. That's what makes it real. The people you admire, the people you see living with purpose, with passion, with impact, they didn't get there by staying comfortable. They leaned into the hard parts. They did the things that scared them. They embraced the uncomfortable conversations, the lonely nights, the unfamiliar steps. They risked looking ridiculous so they could learn, evolve, and rise. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention, through action, through discomfort. And here's the truth most people won't say. Comfort feels good, but it costs you more than discomfort ever will. Comfort costs you progress. It costs you purpose. It costs you time. Precious, unrecoverable time. The longer you live in comfort, the more distant your potential becomes. The longer you stay still, the harder it becomes to move. Every day you choose what's easy over what's necessary, you reinforce the belief that you don't have what it takes to grow. But the opposite is true. You do have what it takes. You just have to prove it to yourself. It starts with one choice: to do the hard thing when you could have stayed safe, to speak up when silence would have been easier, to try again after failure, to show up when you feel like hiding, to say yes when your fear screams no. Each of these choices chips away at the walls of comfort. Each one moves you closer to the edge where growth begins. You won't always feel ready. You won't always feel confident. But you don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing. Willing to try. Willing to change. willing to keep showing up when it's not easy. Because every time you choose growth over comfort, you're not just expanding your skills or your opportunities, you're expanding you. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't settle, who doesn't hide, who doesn't give up, the kind of person who grows no matter what.